Now, we probably could have come up a little bit higher with that ridge line. Got a better spread on the outsides of this thing, but it's not bad for a first set. And again, this is the first time I've set this. We're going to carry some of these D&D products on our website. I've been using one of their tarps, their 9x9 or 3x3 meter tarp, for quite a while, and I really, really like it. So I wanted to try a couple of their tent configurations because we do have a lot of people that ask for tents as well. I set the miner's tent up yesterday, played with it a little bit, and I'm setting what they call their A-frame up today. And what I really kind of thought was cool about this A-frame is a normal A-frame tent, generally you enter from the ends. And this one has got zippers up the side that really create a lean-to of a sort. And you want to stake these other two ends out as well, probably. And you've almost got kind of a combination between a wheel and lean and a tent here. And you've got two areas here that you can stake out a little further if you wanted to, like this, just to get them where they need to be and hold them in place. Just like this. And then you've really kind of got a closed-in space in here, and it's pretty nice. And this is a pretty good size lean-to structure that you can set up on a ridge line if you want to. And if you're into the ground sleeping thing, which I like to do that sometimes, I'm big on hammocks, but I like to sleep on the ground too. This is a really lightweight shelter to use for that scenario. This thing doesn't hardly weigh anything without the bug net, and I've got the bug net for it as well. But without the bug net, it's a very, very lightweight, simple to set shelter. Like I said, it's the first time I've set it, and it didn't take me 5 minutes to get this thing set right. So it's a really nice little shelter. I'm pretty happy with it, and I like the quality of D&D products. So I'm sure that these shelters are going to hold up as well as the tarps do. So here's the D&D miner's tent. And again, it's another very ultra light tent. You can buy a bug net to use with this tent, and you can buy a bug net to go with the A-frame as well. And I have those, but I'm not setting them up right now. It's winter time. I don't need the bug net thing. And probably 3 seasons you wouldn't need the bug net. So for 3 seasons you can have a very ultra light setup. The bug net doesn't add that much weight to it, but these things, it amazes me how light they really are. Now I've got this one pinned on the back side here on the outside. I pinned that door shut, but you can see that this door comes in and shuts all the way down in front, just like that. And you can either loop this over the top of the existing stake if you wanted to there, if you were going off somewhere to hunt or what have you, or you could stake it separate. But it's got Velcro to hold that shut, and then when you want to get in there, you just open that thing up and you can either flip it aside, you can roll it down, it's got some toggle points there, or you can stake it to the inside. And you can use this as a one pole. You could put one pole in the middle of that if you wanted to, but I find it better myself to just run a ridge line if I can't find an overhanging branch somewhere, which is generally very inconvenient to find. But it's easier to find a space between 2 trees. I can just run a ridge line, put a Australian butterfly knot there and a toggle in it, and then I can toggle the top of that tent up, and it opens up the whole interior of the tent and doesn't make it necessary to have that pole in there, and I like that. So again, you know, 2 really nice ultralight products with this miner's tent and this A-frame. Both of those tents are big enough for 2 people, but for 1 person and your gear, talking about smoothing it there. Now I use their 9x9 or 3x3, 3 meter by 3 meter tarp quite a bit. I've got the tan coyote color one, and I've been using it. I used it all summer with my hammock, and it is an absolute fantastic tarp. It went through a pretty good windstorm here during one of the hang-ins and held up spectacular. We had probably 40-mile-an-hour winds at least coming through this camp during a hang-in, and that tarp held up with no problem and no damage whatsoever throughout the night, and some heavy rains as well, and it kept me nice and dry. So I've always been happy with that tarp, and nobody's really carrying D&D in the U.S. You can order it from overseas, but nobody in the U.S. has been carrying it. So I made it a point to seek out the people at the company and see if I could import this stuff and bring it into the U.S. so it could be sold on the U.S. market directly here in the U.S. And we're going to start with 3 products, this miner's tent, the A-frame in the background there, as well as a 3x3 tarp, probably in a single color option to get started, and then we'll expand their product line as we go, because I know they make really nice hammocks as well and things like that. But right now I wanted to start with their tarp and tentage to get that started here in the unit. Okay, so one thing I want to show you real quick on this miner's tent is this vent system on the back side. And you can see there's a screen in there, and it's got a Velcro attachment here to hold it shut if you want to, or you can toggle it and stake it open for good ventilation and release of moisture on the inside. And the A-frame tent we looked at has one of those on both ends of it, so that's a really nice feature of this tent as well. Guys, I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School, and I appreciate you joining me today for this just a quick, really not a review, more like an informational video. And I appreciate your support, your views, everything you do for our school, for our family, for our instructors, our sponsors, and our business. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.